Welcome to the next video in the series about the Technoprogressive Roadmap, published by the UK's Transhumanist Party. This roadmap features 15 goals for the UK to accomplish by 2035. This particular video covers the second of the group of 2 goals about international flourishing. It's goal 8 in the overall set. The UK will be part of a global free travel community of at least 25% of the Earth's population. Freedom of movement means that people can travel to other locations in order to study, to work, to explore, to carry out joint projects, to deepen mutual understanding, or to engage in many other types of activity. Greater freedom of movement can bring many benefits, including the building of the all-important trust and rapport mentioned in Goal 7. Migration has been found to have considerable net positive effects for the UK, including raising productivity, boosting public finances, strengthening cultural richness, and increasing individuals' well-being. Flows of money and ideas in the reverse direction also benefit the original countries of the immigrants. Indeed, greater freedom of movement can assist with fulfillment at multiple levels of the hierarchy of human needs, including belonging and love needs, cognitive needs, aesthetic needs, self-actualization, and transcendence. At the same time, unrestricted freedom of movement can lead to overcrowding, overuse or spoiling of local resources, the unwelcome disruption of previous cultures, and a rise in resentment and hostility between original residents and newcomers. That's why freedom of movement often faces opposition. For these reasons, systems of free travel and open borders necessarily involve a number of agreements and restrictions. This is an example of an important general principle. In order to obtain and enjoy greater freedoms, various elements of lesser freedoms sometimes need to be restricted. For example, to enjoy the freedom to drive a car on a public roadway, we have to give up our freedom to drive at excess speed, or in a vehicle that has failed tests of roadworthiness, or whilst we are intoxicated. Likewise, to enjoy the freedom to travel to a different country, we have to give up our freedom to violate local laws or trample key local customs. Similarly, to enjoy the benefits of a rich association with a larger group of countries, the UK needs to be willing to adopt and support some standards agreed by the group as a whole. We need to be willing to pool sovereignty and to collaborate on decision-making in order to gain more from the relationship than we lose. Here are some examples of rules that could apply for international travel to avoid any drastic adverse changes in local culture or social stability. Visitors could lose their right of residency if they fail to respect agreed norms. Immigrants could be denied a vote until they had been resident for a given amount of time, perhaps 5 years. Immigrants could be denied access to various social security payments, including any basic income payment, until, again, an agreed period of time has elapsed. Immigration of this sort could be restricted to people coming from countries with whom a reciprocal agreement exists. Immigration to particular regions of countries could be limited to numbers agreed in advance. Recognizing both the potential benefits and the potential drawbacks of free movement across open borders, a number of international open border agreements have been established around the world in recent decades, involving, in each case, a set of neighbouring countries which have a broad level of social alignment and economic equality with each other. Over time, As a sign of the general success of the idea, some of these regions have grown and merged. Here are some examples from Europe. The Nordic Passport Union of 1954, establishing open borders between Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland. The Benelux Economic Union, dating from 1944, between Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. The Schengen Agreement started in 1985 when the three countries of the Benelux Economic Union were joined by France and Germany in a declared intent to gradually remove checks for people and vehicles crossing the borders between these countries. The Schengen Agreement was subsequently extended to incorporate the countries of the Nordic Passport Union and also Austria, Czechia, Estonia, Greece, Hungary, Italy, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Malta, Monaco, Poland, Portugal, San Marino, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Switzerland, and Vatican City. It's a remarkable human accomplishment. Other examples from around the world can also be mentioned. The Andean community in South America, dating from 2007, of Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. The CA4 Border Control Agreement in Central America, dating from 2006, of El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. The CARICOM Single Market and Economy in the West Indies, dating from 2009, of Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. The East African Community, dating from 2000, of Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda. The Gulf Cooperation Council, dating from 1981, of Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates. The Trans-Tasman Travel Arrangement, dating from 1973, of Australia and New Zealand. And, at the time of recording this video, a common travel area also operates between Ireland and the United Kingdom. From time to time, countries in these various regions do impose tighter controls at individual borders, as a reflection of practical difficulties as well as occasional hostilities. For example, borders between Qatar and Saudi Arabia have been closed since 2017, and travel between Qatar and other members of the Gulf Cooperation Council is subject to constraints. The combined population of the 29 countries in the Schengen region is currently 421 million. Adding in the populations of Ireland and the United Kingdom would bring the total to 493 million, which is 6.4% of the global population of 7,714 million. Achieving an open border region comprising 25% of the world's population will therefore require significant additional growth and mergers. Like the other goals in this roadmap, it's a challenging vision, but one that is important to target. Larger free travel areas, whilst providing additional liberties and enhanced opportunities, will in general also involve an acceptance by individual countries to give up portions of their local sovereignty, with decisions on matters impacting the entire region being taken by consensus at a multinational level rather than just at the national level. However, this kind of pooling of sovereignty should be evaluated not just from the viewpoint of what an individual country appears to lose, but also from the viewpoint of the additional benefits of strength in depth. Another important factor that will enable and encourage this kind of agreement on freer movement is when localities and countries around the world no longer experience seemingly being left behind. Reduced regional and global inequality will reduce the powerful pressures that people feel to rush to relocate to areas of visibly greater prosperity and flourishing. Accordingly, various elements of the Technoprogressive Roadmap address not only the creation of abundance, but also the equitable circulation and distribution of that abundance worldwide. To accelerate progress with Goal 8, 2 interim targets for 2025 are proposed. The first interim target is to reach a general understanding of the economic case for open borders and the types of constraints that need to be applied so that the benefits significantly outweigh the drawbacks. The second interim target is to agree a statement of the core values of all UK residents, highlighting those features of law and practice which are regarded as key to harmony and flourishing within the UK. This statement can also make it clear which elements of human and transhuman variation and diversity should be accepted or even encouraged. The UK's participation in an extended open border region can be made conditional upon ongoing compatibility of the UK's agreed core values with the corresponding practice throughout the wider region in question. See other videos in this series for more information about the Technoprogressive Roadmap published by the UK's Transhumanist Party.